Hi, everybody. Thank you, Beth. And let me start, actually, and acknowledge the incredible collaboration we've had with Beth and her team at GE putting this project together. We've had incredible encouragement and support to take risks and do some amazing things, and so we get to share it with you today. So today we are introducing a new project that has been many months in design and development and testing and more testing and more testing and outreach and partnerships with design schools, government agencies, all sorts of stakeholders across the design and science and government world. And we're going to share it with you today and go live and bring you a new website today. But before I start, I want to kind of frame visualizing the project in terms of some thinking that drove it. Richard, who has been a mentor to me for a number of years, and from whom I derived a lot of my own understanding of design and its utility to first get to understanding and then get to action, started the day by framing this notion of why design now. And he's right in many respects that design has always been a tool to take revolutions that were changing the world and bring them through some interface, through some communication to all of us. In 1801, it was a Scottish engineer by the name of William Playfair who was trying to show the distribution of the Ottoman Empire. And he came up with this, and this was the first pie chart. And over the time of an enlightenment, taking these incredible revolutions at the time and relationships that were not terribly complex, so a relationship between sort of three components, and it seemed like this was the right way of communicating information, and of course still today we use the pie chart to represent certain relationships. But other things, of course, have changed, and so the way we're using design today, the language of design to understand the world, is necessarily changing with that. We hear a lot about the plethora of data in the world. By some accounts, we now produce more data each year than the combined sum of all prior human history. And with that, at the nexus of science and design, design is giving us the capacity to interact with science and be a part of it through citizen science means, through using social media, through contributing to mapping the human genome or searching for extraterrestrial intelligence or sequencing proteins. We're able to contribute to the abundance of data available to us. And at the same time, the relationships among the issues that we are thinking about today are increasingly complex and interdependent. So whether it's a relationship between global health and climate change, or between energy and population, or the economy and biodiversity, to understand any one of these issues today, we could argue, requires that we have a more systemic understanding. And so data visualization not only allows us to deal with this abundance of data, as we've heard discussed today, and we've seen some of the sort of leaders in the space, Lisa among them, speak earlier, but we can also understand issues better by creating relationships between different issues. Visualizing is a community of creative people working to make sense of complex issues through data and design. It is a shared space. It's a free resource that we are unveiling today to help achieve this goal. And what we're trying to do is bring data visualization even further into our consumption of news, into our understanding of issues as they're unfolding, so that when oil spills happen, when the UN is meeting at the General Assembly, we have the capacity to crowdsource collaboratively and produce data visualizations that can then be figured across the web using the power of social media to impact the way we understand issues. So what we're trying to do is really complete the circle. So with the abundance of data that's being made available today by government, by academia, by NGOs, we want to create tools to make finding that information faster and easier so that you as designers, you as students, you as researchers, you as journalists can access that information, find it even faster. We want to engage designers and design schools so that design schools have the capacity to better teach data visualization, better share learnings with each other, better use data in their classes, and better showcase the work of their students. We want to do it in a way that's completely open and allows for derivative works to arise. So we're using a Creative Commons license, an attribution, share-alike, non-commercial license to allow for work to be built upon each other, to allow for data visualizations to really be used and not just looked at. We're engaging media, blogs, social media, mainstream media, to ensure that data visualizations actually get seen and ensure that it's really simple to take a data visualization and permeate it across the web. And then, of course, engaging with the general public, either through media, through conferences, and ensure that we can get as many people as possible interacting, commenting on, and collaborating in peer review fashion to our understanding of data and data visualizations. So I'm going to go live to the site and show you what it looks like. And I get to stand up here and be the one in front of it, but this has been an extraordinary partnership and collaboration with all sorts of people. At Seed, I want to acknowledge Mark Schwartz and Sarah Jasani, who are here, who've been leading this project. We have over 20 academic partners, design schools around the world. Many of them are watching live right now around the world. And so many other partners. So this is very much a partnership and trying to close the link between all these different stakeholders. So this is visualizing. Every day, we will highlight visualizations alongside breaking news and what's going on in the world. So this month, the OECD published its first ever obesity forecast, and we're looking at food security and nutrition and obesity, and we're bringing visualizations surfacing from the community that has uploaded visualizations to visualizing under a CC license, and then making it really easy to grab those visualizations, comment on them, associate some peer review, and then virally distribute them across the web, on Twitter, on Facebook, and any other social networks. It's really easy to add all sort of expected kind of social media tools, so favoriting and liking types of things, so that we have a sense of sort of some collaborative filtering. It's really simple so you can get a sense. Here's an example of a data visualization that's up there today. So we can go and explore visualizations as soon as this loads, and be able to associate tagging with visualizations. So now creating a little bit of a flexible tagging structure so that you can search for visualizations about health, about energy, about the economy, associate additional tagging to those visualizations, associate data sets to the visualizations themselves so that we can provide commentary on the data sets and associate data sets with visualizations. We can search for data. So new data sets that we've uploaded and curated by Seed, public domain data sets, so from CDC, from WHO. Here we go. So exploring visualizations. So we've introduced the beginnings of a taxonomy, and we're organizing the site around complex issues that we're trying to understand, so health, energy, environment, and then all sorts of tags that we've introduced, and then designers, as they're uploading, are introducing new tags into the system. So that ultimately we want you to be able to search for a visualization as you're trying to understand something. If you're a journalist, if you're a teacher, if you're just in the general public and you want to get a better understanding of a complex issue or its relationship, use the tagging mechanisms on the site. So the concept as well is to engage academic partners from all sort of walks of design, whether it's graphic design, information design, clearly data visualization. We've formed partnerships today that we're announcing today with 20 design schools all over the world. And an academic partner is able to go onto the site, have their students upload work, and we'll hopefully show that to you in a moment, and allow for a professor who's teaching a course to be able to then go curate visualizations from across the community, use those visualizations in their classes, be able to have their students do projects around them. We just heard yesterday from one of our academic partners that will be using visualizing this coming semester in a course about sustainability, so using visualizing and its data sets to allow students to upload work, share it with each other, and use it as the basis for a class project. Sure, absolutely. So all sorts of formats, most digital formats, and their applications as well as image formats. You can upload open frameworks, you can upload processing, you can upload Adobe Creative Suite tools, whatever the case may be. So really allowing you to, and you can run applications directly from the site. I'm going to turn to up there and see if there's any, if we need to refresh or something. Otherwise, I'll talk about another feature of the site, which is challenges. So one of the sort of important aspects of the site for us is being able to turn to users of data visualization, so people who actually want to incorporate data visualizations into their communications, their conferences, whatever the case may be, and allow them to post challenges on the site. So this becomes a place where designers, where students can turn to and find challenges, find competitions, be able to upload work very simply, have it judged by a community, by juries. It becomes a central place for these kinds of challenges to live. And today we're also announcing our first marathon that we're creating. So we also want to encourage students to create cross-disciplinary teams and be able to produce visualization projects that they can upload to Visualizing. So later this month at IBEAM in New York, one of our partners, we're hosting the first Visualizing Marathon with participation from a handful of design schools across New York and the region, with a jury chaired by Paola Antonelli from MoMA. And this will be an opportunity for students to come together, take data sets that we have made available to them on Visualizing, and tackle a real-world issue. And so what we're turning to you today to do, and over the 24 hours produce a data visualization project, what we're turning to you today to do is kind of give us a sense of which are the issues in the world today that we could better understand by using the tools of data visualization. So whether it's because it's an issue that has the need for more data in order for us to understand it, or when there is an abundance of data, we have a better ability to understand it, or whether it's because we want to see a relationship between that issue and another issue. So in these cards that you have in front of you, what we're asking you to do is which of the following world issues do you think could be better understood through the use of data visualization? So really simple, and if you can circle one of those and just leave these on your seats and we'll collect them afterwards. And then also draw a connection. So would we want to use data visualization to sort of maybe see the relationship between biodiversity loss and economic growth, or food security and climate change? So draw a link between two of these issues that a relationship would be of interest to you to better understand. And we'll turn this over to our jury. We'll start building the challenge, and this is what we'll be turning over to the students later this month. So a big part of this is actually with our academic partners is turning to their students, is inviting their students. We've been in beta for a couple of months and have already engaged sort of a nascent design community on the site to begin uploading their work. So we're hoping this is really a viral sort of phenomenon that takes off. We're ultimately certainly promoting it to individual designers, to research institutions, to government agencies, to conferences. So we're doing a lot of that outreach as well, but it's sort of building upon itself as we've been in beta. Yeah. All right, I'm getting a wrap up.
Are we out of time?
I think we're out of time. So you've seen a little bit about it, and you've been able to see some of the sort of concepts and some of the architecture. If you go to visualizing.org right now, obviously the site is up, and through your own much more stable internet connections, you can interact with the site, look at a visualization, upload, download, share a visualization, and see how it works. We'd love your feedback. This is very much a partnership. This has been a collaboration from the beginning. And really the goal here is to further democratize data visualization, make it a more seamless part of our consumption and understanding of complex issues, and do so by employing the power of social media. Thank you.